the software and stuff I use where we don't know when we're live or not, but it looks like we are. Hello. Welcome to the daily vlog live. So I'm going to do a few more of these daily vlogs. So obviously Monday to Friday I do daily vlogs. I'm going to do some more live ones, try and answer your questions. If you like them, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, post in the comments. Just let me know that you like them really, and I'll do more of them. I do like the fact that we can answer some of your questions, those kind of things, and get into a little bit of hopefully discussion about some interesting ideas. We've got the chat room running as always. I've got my drink. Someone is going somewhere next week, and yes, I am uber excited. You will all come with me, obviously, in a digital video kind of way. Now, today's subject, we've got 25 minutes because you might hear my cooker in the background. My cooker is going in 25 minutes. The buzzer will buzz. Tea is ready. When tea is ready, it's time for me to go. So we've got 25 minutes. So look, let's get straight into the first question of the evening, which is pretty much the question of the title of the video. So it was from Coach Deg, or Degree short for. He was asking, I don't know if you can see that there he is. He was asking, when is it time to upgrade clubs? What are good questions to ask during a fitting? Hashtag ask AGG. If I turn the the screen down on that, actually I think you can normally see it. There you go. There it is. So when is a good time to upgrade your clubs? That is a very, very good question, and one I get asked a lot. It really does vary from player to player. I've got a few examples around here which hopefully will explain this for you. So reasons I see for people upgrading, changing clubs, those kind of things, it's to do first off with the commitment that they want to put into the game. So lots of people come into golf and they're thinking of like starter sets, those kind of things to get them going. They play, they see they're enjoying it, they want to invest a bit of money, then they come in for a custom fit. And that's fine, that's a good way of doing it. So that's kind of the first port of call, if you like, when it comes to a point of changing your club. So kind of really built around the dedication that you think you're going to put into the game. The second point I see people upgrading clubs, and I see this one a lot, is people who are playing quite a lot, and then what happens is they want to get a new feeling, get a new idea, kind of work into their set, a new driver, a new wedge, built around some feelings that they might want to work on. So, I mean, I've got my own example of that, and lots of you saw that, and that is in this putter here. So I went from last year playing Odyssey Versa 9, very different shape, different design, and toe hangs, those kind of things. And I've gone to this classic kind of, what people would know as the Ping Answer shape, if you like, that kind of classic shape. Obviously, this is a Scotty Cameron. Yeah, go on, say it in the comments. What is it? A Scotty Cameron what, everyone? Let's see you say it. Someone will blurt it out in a second. You know what it is. It's a custom shop. Custom shop. Luke hates golf, indeed, with loads of P's at the end, Luke. Wow, said that man. So this one means a lot of things for me. I like the shape. I love what it means to me because I love the look of its design and the fact that I've never really had a Scotty and I've always kind of wanted one. And it's so personalised to me. So this one really means a lot to me. When I measured this, I think I did a video on it where I measured it to my Odyssey. It was very, very small incremental differences that you could see, and there were a few differences which I was working towards with my stroke with the way that putter is set up, because the lie of it is very different to the putter I had before. So I had a much more flatter lie, so I'm stood more handle up in the air, if you like. So I changed this around some feelings I was trying to promote, and I came out of stocks kind of all guns blaring at the start, and my putting was loads better in some of those early videos, or certainly the first video. Second one I think has gone out in last week in Turkey, and you'll see how my putting develops, because that's what you're really buying into when it comes to changing clubs. You're buying into those kind of feelings and ideas that you want to work with, and that's very much a change around what I wanted. Now, interesting point then, I think, for lots of people is you're not going to know what you want. So what you're going to have to do is go to a custom fit, and the second part of this question is what kind of questions should I ask during the fitting. You're going to go to a custom fit and not really know what you want, so you're going to have to rely on that fitter. But questions that you can ask, and the most important one, which we can't repeat enough, is why. So when someone says you need X, Y, Z, you need to be asking the question, why? Why do I need that? Why do I need that loft? Why do I need such a high loft, such a low loft? Why do I need this length? Why do you think I need these grips? Why do you think I need this model? Because for me, a custom fit is a chance for you guys and girls out there to think about or learn about what your delivery is like, what your golf game is all about. So what I mean by that, as in if someone says, look, you need a 12-degree lofted driver. So I've got my driver here and we've got some points around this, which is why I've got this as well, which we'll come to. You want to say, why do I need a 12-degree? I thought standard was 10. You're going to learn about your delivery. Well, then hopefully you've got 12 because maybe you take a bit of loft off when you're delivering the club, which will teach you a little bit maybe about the way you're gripping, the way you're swinging. Then you can say to your coach or your fitter, and there's the crutch there. For me, the fitter and the coach should be the same person. Now, that's not always the way, but for me personally, your fitter should be as knowledgeable as your coach, or they should work together, or for all intents and purposes, for me, they need to be the same person. Because if you're requiring, say, a 12 or 13 degree lofted driver, opposed to, say, I've got one here at 9.5, which actually lofted down a little bit at the minute, which we'll talk about in a second, you're going to learn about your delivery. You're going to want to ask the question, well, should I change my delivery or should I just change my club? And that's only something really that someone who knows your game, your skills, your weaknesses, your chances of changing can really kind of answer. For me, that's where you want it to become less a selling tool for this person and more a way of you educating yourself about what you want. So questions, the main question that you should be asking in all your fittings is why? Why do I need this? Mark Foster in the comments, he is saying good fitters are hard to find. Mark Foster, I kind of agree. James Luke, Titleist Kitching. No, I don't know. I just believe he really loves Texas. Don't know what that means. Hello, Mark from Paul. Hello, Paul. Okay, hi, Mark. Thanks for the vids. Now, can a good feeling club improve your game that much? As in, how much difference can feel make? Well, I knew that question would probably come along, and it is one of my points of tonight's video, which is why we've got this one. So this club, as everyone knows who watches my videos, hopefully you can see that actually there. Look at the strike pattern. You can see what I do to the face of that club. Not afraid to hit it. The only person I've seen with a better strike pattern on that, as in people I've played with, I'm sure there's loads, is Sophie. Sophie Walker's got a really tight middle spot hit from her copious amounts of practice. Hello, Sophie, if you're watching. That's why I've got this club, because it's built around memories and feelings. I've got the new Titleist version of this. Some of you might have seen the video that I did with Titleist where they tried to get this out of my bag. And I'm still keen to try that on the course and develop more. And I still worry about this one going a little bit left sometimes, which is something the new Titleist one might help me with. But for the minute, this club is just giving me the feelings that I want when I stand over the ball. So, you know, I had to work pretty hard to make sure this one stayed in my bag with my obviously Titleist deal, which lots of you are aware of. So how important is feeling? It's massive. Now, if you go into custom fits and you have no feelings to give, you don't know, why you want X club, you don't know what feels like what, that's where you can try a few, or that's where you then really rely on your coach stroke fitter to help you understand what you might be able to feel or get from a club. And there's the other thing. A custom fitting isn't black and white. It's a science as well as it is an opinion. So to give you an example of that, I got fitted for this Titleist driver, okay, with Liam, their tour guy, fantastic fitter. Really enjoyed talking with Liam and learning from Liam's ideas around fitting. After playing not too long now with Dan on golf courses, I got bored of him rolling it past me. And I've got a 9.5 driver here, which has now come down 0.75. So this is under 9 degrees. I have taken some loft off. Because what I was finding in Turkey, I was hitting good drives and I'm carrying it my normal distance, but I'm getting no roll on some of the kind of really well manicured fairways. And that cheeky bugger is running it 60, 70 yards up behind me like a little pest. Just running it up past me, and that needs to stop happening. So I've changed the life, and this is the loft of that club, to try and change my shot in relationship to the situations that I'm finding myself in. And that's the beauty of getting fit to some good equipment. This is the one where people talk about why go with the big brands compared to the smaller brands, those kind of things. A club like this, obviously with the changeable neck and the Sure Fit, which I don't really use at the back, which is going to help you shape it and make it heavier and lighter, is allowing me to develop my ideas, my feelings of my game with this club, grow with it, move with it, change with it. And obviously all the top manufacturers are making them with changeable necks, those kind of things. I love the way this one changes the neck, but the face isn't really particularly moving around too aggressively. So this club is allowing me to move around, fit myself, or I would advise you to do it with a pro again, a fitter, but I'm doing it myself because obviously I'm a pro, to try and get what I want out of a club in that situation, if that makes sense. So in answer to your question, when should you change clubs? When you can afford it, when you feel you want to change, okay? When you feel like a change might be better than the rest. When you feel like you want to feel something new or not, so change or not change, okay? And also, what happens if you make any kind of adjustments and changes in your swing? Those kind of ideas is then where a well-fitted, well-made club from one of the top manufacturers will play its part, because it will be able to develop with you. And then the other thing from there as well is that, you know, I've got fit for clubs over the years, and they've not been right when I've taken them out on. I mean, Sub-Zero for me, Callaway last year, gamed it for X amount of months, and it was fine, and it definitely gave me the most distance because it's that low spin model. But I just found over time, I just wanted something more reliable in its spin model, because I'm a low spin, I didn't want it dropping out of the air. So I went for the standard. So even after all the best possibilities of fitting, I was still tweaking, changing my clubs. So don't think that your fitting is always just the end, because it's as much an opinion as it is a science. I hope that kind of makes sense for you. Rinky's face is dirty. Clean those grooves, man. Alex, it's not that dirty, Alex, is it? The grooves are a bit grass stained, but they're more just... there it is. Sorry if I can just put it in the right box there. They're more just kind of worn out, bruh, from my consistent hitting in the middle of the bat. Trying to fill a yardage gap in the bag. Oh, here we go. There was another one there. Let me see if I can find this. You're going pretty quick here. Does shaft flex matter? I play stiff. I believe I should be an X. Could X help me keep hooks out of play, and can help me keep flight lower? You need to go and test, Anthony, what works for you. Shaft flex isn't as basic as unfortunately lots of people try to portray it as. It doesn't relate to speed. It relates much more to how you feel and how you react when you pull on the shaft as you start down, and then what preconceptions you have. A consistent rule of thumb: people struggle from hooks. It's an aggressive shot. They often look for those stiffer shafts because they feel like the club is overtaken because the shaft is doing X, Y, and Z. It's often a desperate case to not deal with their true issues of hooks. I know loads of stronger golfers who hook the ball and they look for shaft, and they spend a few months doing that and it makes them happy, but they still hook it because their technique dictates that they hook it. It might help calm down a feeling of a hook, those kind of things. Face the path's always going to win. If that shaft can change face the path, change lie, change face delivery, fractions, nowhere near as much. It'll be much more on what you feel when you deliver that. How long before grooves... Oh, where's that one gone? There we go. How long before grooves on wedges are no longer good? Michael Walsh. Well, I've never really changed grooves, Michael, and I used to remember the days when you used to try and wear out the face to get that little diamond mark in the middle. Titleist actually have done a study on it. Go on their website and search it. They've done a study on how many shots before you start losing spin. If you can afford it, if you're like the tall guys and you can get those new wedges when you need them. I mean, I can't remember what they told me actually, but the top players were changing them frequently. Like your Spieths were changing them every month, every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. Obviously, you haven't all got the access to what they've got, so again, within your realms that you can afford. But go on a Titleist website or search it online. Titleist groove experiment. They did a kind of an experiment to explain, and it shows you how many shots hit before they start losing their ability to control the spin levels on the ball. When to switch irons, age versus losing performance due to new technology. Currently playing 712s, time to upgrade. Alden Piper. Technology, interesting one. I think we use that word so loosely in golf and in lots of ways in a wild way. 712s are as good as 716s, 718s. There are tweaks if they are better. Again, what happens with club, I mean, Titleist will say they're better. Titleist will say that each model they produce moves it forward. That's their kind of ethos when they're designing clubs, which I kind of understand, but also better for one person at a certain time might not be better another time. So defining better is quite complicated and a little bit risque, but 712s, if you're going to go in that kind of realms of iron, you're not going to kind of miss much from like 4 years clubs to these, but certainly go and try them and see if you find an advantage. Maybe some difference in the longer irons, tungsten going out towards toes might help you push the ball up in the air a bit more. Again, go and measure would be the answer. Just going to have a sip from my Masters Cup. Remember, before we go on to the next question, if you're liking the Daily Vlog Lives, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up. Post in the comments as well. Let me know if you like the lives. Again, like I love trying to interact and share. I mean, they go pretty quick, the comments, but get your comments and answer them as much as possible. So hit that thumbs up if you're loving the live broadcast. We will try and get in the chat room, which is going wild, as much as we can. Fancy, oh, missed that one. Has the E400 ping driver made a massive jump to the old family members? I have G20. G400 Max worth a try. G400 obviously went smaller, and then you've got low spin and draw ones in there, which I'm not sure G20 did. I can't remember now. So you have got the three options. Again, I would advise you to go and try and see what you find out. I don't think centered hit you would see much difference in the comparable model of head to G20. If you start to move away from the face, you might see a little bit of improvements over time. And then you've also got the LS Tech low spin, you've got straight fix technology, which is the draw bias one, and the standard one, and the Max. You've got more choice now. And you've also got the changeable neck on that, which you didn't have maybe on G20. Maybe post comments, can't quite remember. So question from Lee said, so this is the second question related to custom fit. It's about what ball you should use when going for a custom fit. He says, should I use the ball that I use when I game? I think he says, would he agree that club fit should be done using players' regular ball rather than the store's model, or worse still, a bunch of random ones I was offered in my last visit to a major golf retail chain? Sounds like a little bit of a dig more than anything else. But yeah, you need to use your ball. Certainly if you're comparing it over time or over different places or brands. If the ball isn't consistent, you might get a few variations in numbers, you'll get variations in sounds, you'll get variations in feels if you're not careful. You might react to that. When I used to do lots of fitting, I got into the habit of never telling the player what I was giving them. They would so often react to their personal perceptions. If I gave them a regular shaft or a light shaft or a stiff shaft, they had perceptions of what that did, and they would try and make that happen. It was very interesting to watch the human male ego do its best to kind of prove itself right. And that's one thing I've always really enjoyed with club testing, and one thing I think I'm quite good at with the club testing, which some of the guys who work with me see, is I'm able to let go. I'm able just to hit a club for a club, apply pretty much the same delivery, same action, and give that club a fair test. I'm not reacting to things. So someone like Dan, for instance, sees offset and already he's reacting, he's thinking, he's doing stuff, where I'm much better at being able to just kind of hit it, let it go, and see what comes out, give it that kind of fairer test. So when it comes to what ball you should use, absolutely a good fitter, to be honest with you, will have an array of balls that you can go and change or test. Or if I didn't have the ball the player particularly used, I would get them to ask them to pull them out of their bag, and I actually even started to ask them to bring ones. So bring the ball you use. I've probably got it, but if you haven't, we've got some of the ones you use to test. using random balls that are just supplied is lazy. It's not good service. And look, these clubs are not cheap. I mean, these drivers are costing a fortune nowadays, like so much money. If you aren't getting the service you deserve, you absolutely should think about walking out of those places that are not able to deliver you the service for clubs that are 400, 300, over £400. You deserve a much better level of service than definitely, I think, what goes on out there. Junior clubs, or get game improvement clubs like M2, and just reshaft them as a junior grows. Junior clubs, David, I would go more now, subject to the size of the junior. Obviously, that's a bit of a, juniors are all random sizes, but simply just cutting down clubs won't give you the... it'll very much change the characteristics of those clubs. You want to be careful, be changing the weight. You know, you've got some great... My daughter uses... so Fanula, my eldest, uses Ping Junior clubs. They've been fantastic through the years. I know some other companies might do them as well, but the Ping ones I've had loads of trust in. When they get to a certain age and a certain size, you can go women's clubs. I hate that term, but that's what we know them as, so lighter and often a bit shorter, and then up into men's clubs. I would try and, as much as you can, try and step it. Right, Sam, we've had something that I've never seen before, but thank you so much. Love the channel. I'm a real beginner, and I have really enjoyed your advice and thoughts on the game. Keep it coming. Thanks, Sam. He's paid, it looks like, for that. Is that a super thingy? Thank you so much. You don't need to do that. That's very kind. I am going to be setting up my gift, my page is still going for Children's Hospice South West, but I've got some more stuff to give away leading up to the Masters, which we'll talk about this week in other daily vlogs, hopefully. So if anyone wants to give it money, don't give it to me, give it to them. But very kind of you, Sam, very kind. What else we got in the chat room? Mark, would you rather hit the ball 300 yards or hit every wedge shot inside 10 foot? What a great question. I think I would rather hit it 300 yards. Yes, I'd rather hit it 300 yards, please. I mean, I just think hitting a wedge, if I hit it 262, hitting a wedge shot inside 10 foot still is going to be my third shot. Where if I'm hitting 300 yards, I'm going to be in a 6-iron and won't have to hit a wedge because I'll probably hit the green with a 6-iron. So absolutely. I've got some videos based on some extra distance coming actually very soon, next week I think it is, where we talk about 6 yards, just 6 yards, and the difference that might make to you improving your game or not. I did a fun little test, which is coming soon. Does the shaft flex change over years? Nicholas, does the shaft flex change over years? Not my experience of it is no. I'm sure some people will try and say it does, but also I've seen some people say that puring shafts makes a massive difference when it doesn't. Let me just check my timer. How long have we got? We've got 22 seconds. Right, last question, guys, before we go. Thank everyone who's watched. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. This question, I love this question. Let me just get my screen raised down so you can see it. Where's it gone? Sean asked, and this is one for Coach Lockie, how to top a driving iron off the tee. That's his question to finish off. There's the buzzer. We need to ask Coach Lockie that. The best way to top a driving iron off the tee, what Coach found out, sorry for the buzzer, I can't go and get it because I'm plugged in with the mic, is that you hit it, and then when it hits into the ground, bounces up on your follow through, you hit it again, and that rams it into the ground, and then it rolls forward and it hits a tee marker and then goes off into the rough, and then you sulk for about 2 hours. That's the best way to top a driving iron, courtesy of Coach Lockie. Thanks all for watching. Post comments down below. Let me know if you like these live daily vlogs. I'd love to hear. My tea's ready. Gotta go. Thanks for watching, as I said, and check out Gareth Bale Week if you haven't already. Really fun videos in Gareth's garden. He was such a cool guy and his mates. We had great fun. Hope that comes through in the videos. Check them out. Let me know what you think. Speak to you all soon. Have a great evening.